So how did I get into homeopathy? Well, it was because it was years ago actually, when my daughter was about 5. She just started school, and I was just so tired. So I used to take her to school, come back, and then lay on the settee all day long, all day. And then didn't really have the energy, but I had to walk to the school, which is about a mile, and because I didn't have a car back then, and then we had to walk back, and again I was exhausted. I didn't know how, and I just didn't know what to do really. And so I went to the doctor, and the doctor sent me up to the hospital, thought I had an ulcer, got checked for that, didn't have an ulcer. Then I had to have like this endoscope down your throat, which is horrible, and anyway, nothing come of that. And then I had one up the other end, and nothing come of that. And it was about 6 months. I kept going for test after test, and still no energy. And a friend of mine, she said, "Why don't you go and see a naturopath that I know?" And I just said, "Oh, I don't really think I like that kind of thing. It's like a bit like voodoo, really. I don't really understand it. I don't." And it was back in the 80s, so it wasn't, it wasn't really, it was not right, really. People didn't really think it was a good thing to do. And so anyway, and she said to me, "Well, how can you go on like this? You know, it's 6 months now and you're still not well. So why don't you just give him a try? Just try it." So I said, "All right then." So I went down. I was devastated because I had no life. And my daughter, she, wasn't very good for her either. So I eventually did go, and it did smell of all herbs, and it did smell a bit voodoo-y actually there. And he had all like African masks and things up on the wall. So I was a bit doubtful, and I probably wouldn't have stayed there had it not been for my friend and her family that had been trying it. So anyway, after 6 months of doing what he said, diet as well, not having too much fat, because it sounded like an ulcer, because if I had it like an egg or anything, after about 4 hours I would get the most excruciating pain in my stomach. It was awful. But after about 3 months, I think it was, I was then starting to get better. And wow,